Thank you very much, Your Excellency. It is the gracious remarks that you delivered this morning. I applaud you for those. I applaud you for the vision that you have for the water sector globally. And thank you very much for allowing me to share the stage in this important event that you are putting on here. It's just so delightful to be here. And I thank you, Your Excellency, and your team for how you have treated me and my delegation from DC Water. I truly appreciate it. It is a distinct honor to participate in the Innovation-Driven Water Sustainability Conference. We are here with a spirit of reciprocity, eager to share our experiences and also our expertise, but equally eager to learn from the advancements that you have made globally and the leaders that are in the room. It was our privilege to welcome you to our and your delegation, Your Excellency, to Washington, D.C., and to meet with DC Water when you all were in Washington, D.C. a couple of weeks ago. I am David Gadis. I'm the CEO and General Manager of DC Water, and I'm honored to serve in that capacity for our nation's capital. While we come from different corners of the globe, we are united in a single critical stewardship, and that is the management of the world's most precious resource, water. We all operate in the water sector, and while governance models and the regulations may differ between our nations or even between the states and provinces, the fundamental challenge of leadership remains the same for all of us. For that reason, I want to focus my remarks this morning on the foundation of success. We often talk about infrastructure in terms of pipes and plants and equipment, but the most critical infrastructure that we each have in our utilities is our people. And I want to repeat that, our people are the most critical infrastructure that we have. When I arrived in Washington, D.C. in May of 2018, I recognized that before we could innovate, before we could look at anything in the future, we had to repair our foundation, and the foundation was the people. The authority needed a new strategic direction because we were facing significant internal hurdles and external hurdles as well. We had to address gender bias, pay disparities within the organization. We had to take a look at fixing the representation at the executive level as well. And perhaps most importantly, we had to close a deficit of trust between leadership and the workforce. We knew that to drive sustainability and also externally and internally that sustainability, we cannot demand excellence from our workforce that feels unheard and also undervalued as well. This realization inspired us to develop our strategic plan, Blueprint 2.0. Our strategic plan is what we live by every single day. Now, many organizations treat strategic plans and their planning as a checklist, something you write on paper, you put on a shelf, and you check it at the end of the year. We took a different approach. We understood that strategy must be tailored to the specific culture needs of the organization. It cannot be bolted on after the fact. It must be baked into the daily operation of your authority or utility. Our Blueprint 2.0 embraces 5 strategic imperatives. Those are not just goals, they are critical factors that will foster our success at DC Water and our future. First, we are committed to being healthy, safe, and well. This means that when an employee comes to us healthy in the morning, we must return them to their families at the end of the day in that same manner. If our employees do not feel safe physically and psychologically, they cannot be innovative. And that's what we're about at this conference, is being innovative. And that's why I've tailored my speech around people. Second, we focused on being reliable. This is the core of our business, delivering high quality water service efficiently. When you turn us on, we must come running. Third, we aimed to be resilient in an era of climate change and cybersecurity threats. We must be able to withstand and recover from those shocks that we have on every day, especially in Washington, D.C., where the weather changes, and across the country as well. Fourth, we are committed to being sustainable. We must protect our environment and our financial wealth for being a long-term organization. And fifth, and last but not least, that is to be equitable. We are committed to being equitable. We made equity a business imperative as we corrected the pay disparities that we had in our organization. We diversified our leadership. We ensured that our internal culture reflected the communities that we serve. Why do I highlight equity along with reliability? Because they are so connected. When we address the culture, when we look at the fixes that we need to make from a pay standpoint and leadership, and then also engage our workforce, we saw our performance metrics increase and improve. Because our people felt safe and well, our safety incidents also went down. Safety is what we're about at DC Water. Because our culture became equitable, trust was returned to the utility. And because trust returned, our team became more resilient and reliable in the face of crisis. And that included when floods occurred, or also when a pandemic hit our nation and our nation's capital. The lesson that we learned in Washington, D.C. is that culture is not a soft skill, but it is a hard skill. As leaders in a global water sector, we have access to incredible technology and engineering, all of us do. But technology alone will not solve the water crisis that we have globally. It takes a workforce that is engaged, trusted, and also aligned with the mission. My challenge to each of every one of you leaders in the room today is to take a look at your strategic plan and to ask yourselves, is the culture and what we want to achieve baked into that strategic plan? Are you building a foundation of trust, and can that support the weight of innovation? At DC Water, we have found that when you take care of the people take care of the water. And when you take care of the water, you take care of your customers. I want to thank you all very much. I want to thank you, Your Excellency, and I want to thank you for all of the opportunities that you will share with us at this conference and that we're able to share with you. Thank you very much.